Last week, California Governor Gavin Newsom lied. He said he was going to pause illegal immigrant health care at taxpayer expense in the California state budget. But now we uncover that he's actually spending more of your taxpayer money on free health care for illegal immigrants. And his budget will soon make it easier for illegal immigrants to get taxpayer handouts than even citizens in our state. Coming up, we have all the sordid details and what we're doing to fight back. I'm Carl DeMaio, chairman of Reform California and a California state representative. And last week, we blew the lid open on the accounting gimmicks, games, and lies that Governor Gavin Newsom is using in his state budget. He's blaming everything on Trump when, in fact, it's all Newsom's fault. And he claimed last week that he was going to make tough cuts in the state budget, including the one that he got the most credit for, a so-called cut in taxpayer-funded free healthcare for illegal immigrants. Well, we did a deep dive on his budget, because we're running something called Doge California out of Reform California to really shine a light on the state budget and find out the truth. And what we have exposed with the truth is that Newsom not only is not cutting illegal immigrant health care, he's actually spending more on free health care for illegal immigrants. And get this, under his budget, with new changes coming at the federal level, it will soon be easier for an illegal immigrant to get free taxpayer-funded health care through Medi-Cal than a U.S. citizen. Oh, we got it all laid out. We have the receipts, the evidence. It's overwhelming. Plus what we can do to fight back. But first, I need you to help join the fight against Governor Gavin Newsom and his mismanagement. And the only way that we can continue to shine a light on the truth, because it's not like the liberal media is going to get the truth out to California voters. The only way we're going to get that out is if we Doge California. And so at Reform California, we launched the project several months ago, Doge California. And this is what got me thrown off the state budget committee. We started using the Doge California exposés and investigation reports to expose all sort of waste, fraud, and abuse in the budget, even money laundering by Governor Gavin Newsom for far left-wing political groups. Well, that caused Newsom and the Democrats to throw me off the budget committee, but we are still getting the receipts out there. I'm about to share a couple of those receipts with you on illegal immigrant healthcare, but we can only do this work if you join us. So go to the website, reformcalifornia.org, reformcalifornia.org. Do two things. Number one, help us break through the censorship of the liberal media by signing up to get our weekly newsletter. Just go to the bottom of that website, reformcalifornia.org, and put in your first name, last name, email, phone, and zip code, and you will get our weekly newsletter every Friday at 9 a.m. with all the top stories of what we're uncovering about the corruption and the mismanagement in California because of Democrat one-party control. Plus, please donate whatever you can. We can only do the work we're doing at Reform California, which includes not only Doging California, but recruiting candidates for office, from everything from judgeships and school board races all the way up to the state legislature. Ballot measures like California voter ID, we can only do all of this work if you chip in a contribution. I can't do this alone. I'm a volunteer. We have all of our volunteers statewide working hard, but we have to cover hard costs for these campaigns. Chip in a contribution of any amount today at reformcalifornia.org. The contribution button is in the top right-hand corner of the website. So let's go ahead and get started with today's topic. And that is that Governor Gavin Newsom got a lot of favorable liberal media press last week because they came out with the breaking news. Governor Newsom reverses course. He's going to cut illegal immigrant health care because the state faces a deficit. Now, mind you, he blames the entire deficit on the Trump slump, when in fact, this is all Gavin Newsom's failure. I call it Gavin's grift. It's the best way to describe California's state budget, is that most of the problems we're having are with programs and expenditures of funds for political contributors of the Democrats. You can cut all that out and you have a balanced budget. You don't have to cut services for needy Californians or citizens. No, you just have to cut the fat out of the budget for all the various political groups and political contributors that back Gavin Newsom and the Democrats that they're trying to curry favor with at your expense. We've laid out the fact that it was self-inflicted by Gavin Newsom. Another bit of evidence as to why Trump did not cause this: there's not a single penny of money that's been taken away from the state yet by Donald Trump. I believe it's coming because California politicians have broken the law as it relates to the use of federal funds, particularly on covering the cost of illegal immigrant health care. But not a single penny has been cut yet from California when it comes to ongoing budget obligations. And also, you have states like Texas and Florida that have massive surpluses. And we're one country. We live under the same tariffs. We're the same economy as Donald Trump nationally. So if they're having good economic times, how can you blame California's state budget deficit on the Trump slump? Again, it's nothing but disinformation. It's gaslighting Gavin at his worst. But anyway, last week, he gaslit on the issue of illegal immigrant healthcare because all the voters out there are pissed off, and they should be, that we're giving billions of dollars out in freebies to illegal immigrants while we face a budget deficit and we're trying to, deal with that. Politicians are trying to raise taxes. They're trying to cut our services for real citizens that live here. So the illegal immigrant healthcare giveaways are a political issue that Newsom is trying to bamboozle the public on. This is how it was reported by the liberal media.
California's Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom is catching quite a bit of attention by proposing to scale back free health care in California for undocumented immigrants. Under his new proposal, undocumented immigrants aged 19 and older would no longer be able to apply for the state's Medi-Cal insurance program. This would start next year if approved.
Okay, so that's the long and the short of it is major cuts to illegal immigrants, and these illegal immigrants that are of adult age, they're no longer going to be covered. Well, that's not true. Newsom lied. He did it just to get those liberal media stories, and you probably heard this in your local paper or your local TV stations, which, as I always say, defund the left by canceling your subscription to your local newspaper and turning off local news because they're only lying to you. Newsom said that he was going to pause illegal immigrant health care. Well, what does that mean? Well, what he means is that he's not going to allow anyone new to apply for the program going forward, starting in a year. Now, if you believe that he's even going to do that pathetic, bit of crumbs towards reform, I got a bridge to sell you that's got high-speed rail on it. It's absolutely not happening. What he did not say is that we're going to continue covering all the illegal immigrants that are already in the program. We're going to continue giving them health care. Now, remember, you can stop freebies anytime. But what he's trying to suggest is, well, because they're already getting the freebies, I shouldn't turn off the freebies for these people. Why not? I mean, that's what the media should be asking. Why are you in your budget going to be continuing to spend money on illegal immigrant health care for all the millions of illegal immigrants that are already on the system? Haven't you already done the damage? Isn't that what's causing your deficit? And yes, that is what's causing our deficit. Last year, we spent $9.5 billion on illegal immigrant health care coverage. $9.5 billion of your money. That's 1 out of 4 Medi-Cal general fund dollars is being handed to an illegal immigrant in the California state budget. We exposed that through California, Doge California. I exposed that at my first budget committee hearing, one of 2, before they threw me off for exposing things. $9.5 billion this year. You know how much he's spending next year? Wait for it. $12.1 billion. So does that sound like a cut to you? We're going to spend nearly $3 billion more on illegal immigrant health care than we did this year. But by golly, that is a cut. That's a pause. The liberal media either is too lazy to research this and find out the truth, or they're too liberal to want to report the truth because they know that citizens in California, even Democrat citizens, are furious that we're facing a budget deficit and that legitimate citizens with needs are having their health coverage put at grave risk because of what Newsom and the Democrats have done to give away the store in Medi-Cal to make it financially insolvent. So I went public with these numbers last week on Friday. And the only news station that wanted to pick it up was Newsmax. And what's appalling about this is that all the stations should pick it up because they just reported a lie. The last 24 hours, they were lying to the public. They got it wrong. You would think that they would do their damn job as journalists and actually report the truth, but no. $9.5 billion last year, $12 billion is what we're going to be spending on illegal immigrant healthcare under his proposal. That's the so-called cut. It's actually an increase. What's the budget deficit? You guessed it, $12 billion. So if you just eliminate illegal immigrant healthcare, you get rid of the entire budget deficit. And you don't have to make any other cuts in the state budget. That's it. You balance. Well, yeah, there's a lot more waste, fraud, and abuse in that state budget, so we have to cut even more, get rid of it. But you balance just by getting rid of, canceling, truly cutting the illegal immigrant free healthcare giveaways. So I went forward, and Newsmax confirmed what I told them. They went to the governor's office. The governor's office said, "Oh, you should talk to the finance office," and the finance office confirmed my numbers, confirmed the truth. Here it is.
Republican Assemblyman Carl DeMaio says the headlines you're reading are not telling the full story. He claims Newsom is acting like he's freezing or capping the free health care in an effort to save money, but DeMaio says that's not actually what's happening.
Gavin Newsom this year spent $9.5 billion on free health care for illegal immigrants. Now he says he's going to cut that back. But guess what? His budget increases the cost of free healthcare for illegal immigrants to $12.1 billion. The liberal media in California is gaslighting the voters, along with Gavin Newsom, by not telling them the truth.
So I reached out to Governor Gavin Newsom's office to ask specifically about those numbers. They then pushed me off to the finance office. As I'm giving this live report, I just got an email from the finance office essentially confirming those numbers that you just heard now from Assemblyman Carl DeMaio. They said in this fiscal year, more than $10 billion was spent on health care for Medi-Cal. They expect next year to be $12.1 billion.
There you go. All she had to do was ask the question. All any of these reporters have to do is ask the question, but except for Newsmax, none of the stations did. CBS didn't update its reporting, neither did any of the stations in the state of California. They know they're lying to you. Your taxpayer money is going to illegal immigrants at a faster rate than ever before. By the way, the $12 billion cost in next year's budget means that instead of 1 out of 4 Medi-Cal dollars in the general fund going to an illegal immigrant, now it's going to be 1 out of 3. It's only getting worse. That's right. Now they're going to pretend in the next couple of weeks. What you're going to see is the kabuki dance. They're going to continue the theatrics as though, oh my God, Gavin Newsom is being so mean to illegal immigrants by making cuts. Wink, wink, nod, nod. Here's Politico. Continuing the gaslighting, heavy dose of pushback. Resistance is quickly mounting to Governor Gavin Newsom's proposal to pare back healthcare benefits for undocumented immigrants. Pare back? Goes on to have these liberal activists. Progressive LA City Council member Hugo Soto Martinez de la Cruz last week introduced a resolution condemning the move. This is all theatrics. They want to pretend to the voters that, boy, some tough choices were just made. The illegal immigrant program got pared back or shut down or cut. Nope. Don't buy it. Now, what's truly nauseating about this and infuriating is that with a new federal rule that's going into effect, which I support, which is a work requirement for anyone getting welfare to work, we should have a work requirement. They want to apply that to all the Medicaid programs around the states, around the country, which means in California, Medi-Cal, in order to get Medi-Cal, the state of California will have to implement a work requirement in order for the state of California to continue to cover federal Medicaid recipients under Medi-Cal. Here's the headline. The media, of course, making it a bad thing. More than 350,000 in San Diego County could be subject to Medi-Cal work rule. Yeah, you have to actually have a job in order to get a handout. You have to do something. You have to show that you're trying to get jobs in order to receive the freebies. We're willing to help you out as long as you're still trying to help yourself out. So If this rule goes into effect, and I believe some form of it will go into effect, welfare to work, because Trump supports it, the Republicans in Congress support it, frankly, the American people support it. You know what that means? In California, if you are a citizen and on Medi-Cal, you will have some sort of Medi-Cal work rule that you have to comply with. But if you're an illegal immigrant on Medi-Cal and the money's being paid for by the state budget, it doesn't fall under this Medi-Cal federal reimbursement work rule. Illegal immigrants don't have to have a job. And frankly, they're here illegally, so it's hard for them to get a job because, well, if you do E-Verify, you're not allowed to hire them. So it's easier for a non-citizen then to get welfare in California than a citizen. Oh, I'm not making this crap up. This is Gavin Newsom, and he's perfectly fine with it. The Democrats are perfectly fine with this. A two-level, rules for these people over here who are citizens and taxpayers. Oh, but no. People here illegally. Oh, no. Can't expect them to do anything. Just give them the freebies. No one in the media wants to report on this. But this is the effect of this rule. And again, the rule should be imposed. And let me just say, there's more pain and suffering coming to the state Medi-Cal program because Trump is ordering an audit of illegal immigrant benefits given out through Medi-Cal. And it's quite probable that the state of California will be penalized Medicaid dollars, that they'll have to repay money that they illegally used from the federal government to cover illegal immigrant health care. This is just a story that is only going to get worse. And that's why Newsom is trying to lie about it. So that people think, oh yeah, if something bad happens, at least he canceled the program. No, he's increasing the amount of money, the cost, the outlays. Look, at Reform California, we are shining a light and uncovering these scams, bringing the truth to light when the media won't, which is why we need your continued help at reformcalifornia.org. Chip in a contribution, whatever you can, put fuel in the tank so we can hire investigators, auditors, researchers to come up with these bombshell revelations and get them out to people like you. Plus, we want to promote these stories to voters so that they can vote the bums out in this upcoming election. This is a wedge issue. It's very toxic for Democrats to put the interest of illegal immigrants first over tax-paying citizens. We can't do this without your help. So go to the website, reformcalifornia.org, sign up at the bottom of the website, chip in a contribution. You can also help us by liking and subscribing to today's video. Just hit the subscription button for Reform California with Carl DeMaio. 84% of you watching this video are not subscribers. It's free. It's the easiest thing you can do to help us goose the algorithm so that we can get more views on all of our news shows as we work hard to expose the truth to California voters. Until next time, I'm Carl DeMaio, Chairman of Reform California and a California State Representative. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. But before you click away, please subscribe to this channel and click that notification button so you get updated when we post new episodes. Plus, like this video and share it with your friends so that we can help spread our message across the state. Reform California with Carl DeMaio is paid for by Carl DeMaio for State Assembly.